Alrighty, Chef Buck here, and today we're going to cook up a super healthy and delicious Mediterranean quinoa dish. So here's a tip. If you're buying quinoa, because I get some people, telling me, quinoa, it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. And it can be. Because sometimes you'll go into a store and they'll have it in a couple of different areas. Sometimes they'll have it in the healthy health food area. And you might be paying $9, $10, $12, $14 a pound for it there. But go look in the bulk section. Go look in with the rice. Go look around, for quinoa in a different area, or ask about it. Because you can find it in the same store in 3 different areas for 3 different prices. And I like to pay around $5. $5, $6 a pound, $4 a pound. Between 4 and 5 if I'm lucky. But you can get it for around that if you look around. But anyway, quinoa, boom. It's an awesome grain, but it's not really grain, it's a seed. But you can treat it like a grain. I use it in almost every dish that I can use rice, I can use quinoa. And it's a very healthy choice. Complete protein, so if you're on a vegetarian diet, it's an awesome, excellent way to go. So, after all of this talking, check it out. Alrighty, so we're just gonna rinse our quinoa, polish it up, boom. We got 1 cup of quinoa, boom. Gonna throw it in a saucepan, and to that I'm gonna add 2 cups of water, because you wanna do a 1-to-2 ratio. We're gonna throw a little bit of salt in there, and we'll add some salt later as well. But I'm gonna turn this up on high heat, and get it going into a boil. And I'm also gonna throw some spices in here, some herbs. This is a little dried thyme and oregano and basil. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in here while this is boiling to help rehydrate it and get that flavor throughout there, because it's gonna be a Mediterranean quinoa. So you want these kind of flavors in there. So we'll go ahead and toss that in there, boom. I'm gonna cover it up. While our quinoa is coming to a boil, I'm gonna go ahead and take a skillet and I'm gonna heat me up a little bit of olive oil, because we're gonna saute some onions here. So our oil is nice and heated up. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some chopped onion. Boom, I got like one large medium onion here. I got 1 medium-sized onion here. We use just half a large one. But we'll throw this in here and start that sauteing. Looks like my quinoa has come to a boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce that down to low. And I'm gonna let it simmer away, because we're gonna want our quinoa to simmer for about 15 minutes. So once it comes to a boil, reduce the heat down to a simmer, and we'll cover it up and let it simmer away for 15 minutes. And while that's going on, we're gonna saute up our onions. Now my mom made this dish for me when I was down in Florida. It was super duper awesome, but she didn't put any garlic in it. And it tasted good. She made it without garlic. And it tasted good, but I want it to taste great, right? We want it to taste great, so we're gonna put some garlic in it. So I got some minced garlic. I got like 3 cloves of garlic right here. So I'm gonna put most of it in here. Boom, boom, boom. Most of that garlic's going in there. And then I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna reserve this for later, because I'm gonna put a little raw garlic in with the salad too, because I like that flavor. But we'll stir this up. Saute our garlic and our onion for a little bit. That's all we're doing. Sauteing up our onion and garlic and letting our quinoa simmer away for 15 minutes on low heat. Let's check it. Look at it. Come over here, camera girl. Why are you being so shy? See, it's simmering away. Boom. We're going to do this for 15 minutes till that water is absorbed. So I'll see you in the future. Is my facus and facus? So quinoa has been going for about 7 minutes. It's looks like the water is being absorbed in there, but I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of salt and pepper in here with my sauteing onions, so that they'll have a little bit of flavor. Alright, so there you go. Boom. Just season up your onions a little bit while they're sauteing, and we'll give this quinoa another 7 minutes. Then we'll be back in the future. Boom, look at that. That's the end of our 15 minutes. So we're gonna turn this off. Our quinoa has been going for 15 minutes. In fact, I've been sauteing these onions for 15 minutes on low heat. But let's see. We've had it simmering on low. Go ahead and turn it off. Alrighty. So, look at that. See, the water has been absorbed. And our quinoa is nice and ready. Now, normally you would just leave this alone and let it sit for a minute. But we're going to go ahead and add some spinach. We're going to add spinach while it's hot because we want our greens to wilt. This is about 2 cups of fresh spinach chopped up. And it looks like a lot, but that's mostly air. It's going to get folded into this quinoa, and then the heat of this quinoa is going to wilt it up. And along with the spinach, for flavor, I got like a 1/4 cup of fresh basil right here. And this is going to be a great flavor. It's going to make it Mediterranean-licious. Get your basil and your spinach mixed in there and let it wilt up in here, you know, with the heat from the quinoa. Why don't we go ahead, and while we're here, we got our onions. We're going to go ahead and throw our onions in there too. And this is actually quite a little bit of onion. You don't have to use this much onion, but I like onion. And like I said, if you're not a fan of the garlic, you don't have to use garlic, but I like garlic. So we're going to go ahead and throw this in here as well while it's nice and hot. Look at all that oniony goodness. So we'll go ahead and fold these onions in here as well. Now we got a few more things to add, but we'll go ahead and let it cool down for a few minutes. Right now it's pretty hot, so I don't want to put the tomato or cheese in here right now because I don't want it to melt up and be a big lumpy mush. So we'll let it cool down, let it sit with the onion and the spinach and the basil in it for about 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. We'll see. So it's been 10 minutes. And I fluffed it with a fork a couple of times. You can still see it's kind of steaming a little bit, but it's not nearly as hot as it was. So I'm going to go ahead and add a few more ingredients. First thing, boom, a little bit of vinegar. Use any kind you like. I'm just using rice vinegar, a little mild kind of vinegar. Boom. Putting in about a tablespoon plus whatever that is. You saw it. It was a picture. But you know, to taste, I'm going to throw a little bit more salt in there just because I got a feeling. Then I'm going to add in that little bit of minced garlic that I had that I didn't saute up with the onions. A little bit of raw garlic because I love raw garlic in quinoa salads. Then I'm going to throw in some tomatoes. Now this is some cherry tomatoes. Just got them split in half. You know, the great thing about cherry tomatoes is I find they have a lot of flavor. And, you know, because it's got the skin, they're going to stay together. So it's a great component in a salad. And then finally, a little bit of feta cheese. And also be aware when you put in your salt that the feta cheese is also going to have salt in it. You know, and you can put anywhere between 1/2 cup and 1 cup of feta cheese. You know, I got about 3/4 of a cup right here. Well, probably closer to 1 cup, actually.
Well, how many ounces is the container?
Well, the container is boom, boom, boom. Who cares? About a cup. That's all you want. Between 1/2 cup and 1 cup. Now we're going to stir it up. Boom. Super delicious. Super healthy. Very easy to make. Mediterranean style quinoa salad. It's awesome hot. You know, when you make it, eat it right then. Any leftovers, throw them in the fridge. It's just as tasty. It's more tasty, maybe even cold. You know, so give this recipe a try. Super delicious, super healthy. You know, lots more like this coming this year. You know, because we're getting on the health wagon. We're going to be making some smart decisions. You know, 2016, the year of health. Yeah.
What the heck are these?
It's got a hole in it. Look at that. That's air. You know, how unhealthy can that be? You need air to live. We're going to be faster. We're going to be stronger. We're going to be smarter. You know, you see I got a way to go in the smart department. But we're making all healthy decisions. You know, so come along and ride the health train with Chef Buck and Kim. What the hell are you doing? You did it before I could change, you know.
I just wanted to show behind the scenes. What are these?
Yeah.
What are these?
These are air holders.
Yeah, so that makes them healthy?
I probably shouldn't do that on camera.